All right, folks, I'm eating apple chips, RNA Orchard apple bread, and Sam's trying to apologize for throwing things at me this morning. You're not? I thought that's why I got the apple butter. I thought that's why you were nice for just a second. No? Oh, well, I got apple butter out of the deal. Whatever happened, whatever took place, I got some apple butter. I better put my bread down here. I'm your host, KP. All right, take that out of my ear, please. So, anyhow, all right. Donald Trump, here, I want to paint this picture because nobody will talk about, not nobody, but this wiretapping, okay, and unmasking. The investigation is totally wrong. Do I think the Russians bought some bots? Yes. Do I think that, and what I mean by that, do I think they ran some phony Facebook accounts? Yes. I think I get so many phony foreign Facebook friend requests. I mean, I'm telling you, folks, if you start really going through the phony foreign Facebook accounts, it's enormous. So do I think the Russians did that? Yes. Do I think the Russians had bots retweet? But yeah, yes, but it's happening in this country all the time, on every day. There's bots retweeting, and I don't have time to go into details on that. Do I think the Russians are doing things concerning cyber warfare that we've been in for quite some time? We've been in a war just because we don't think of it as conventional, but there's been a war for quite some time. Do I think that we're in that? Yes. Do I think the Chinese have all the information they have today because Bill Clinton, called and asked for their mailing address? Yes. And that's not a joke. I mean, literally, might as well. Bill said, "Hey, get me those people over in China on the phone. Get me on the phone. What's your mailing address? 'Cause I got some stuff I want to send over to you. It's really going to escalate so many things in the next 25 years that it'll just be something to take us away daily, and nobody will ever be able to see Hillary and I taking in all this money around the world while you, the Chinese, are keeping people diverted." Do I think Bill Clinton asked for the mailing address and the Chinese have so many of our secrets? Yes. That being said, the investigation is totally wrong. The investigation needs to be of Mueller. There's a word that I think they have to take out. I mean, there's no such thing as perjury anymore. There's not. I mean, now, I will tell you, you can't lie to the FBI. If you start looking up Scooter Libby, okay, Scooter Libby was the fall guy. Look that up. And we told you early on, everybody told you, many of the talk shows you listen to throughout the day are going to tell you that, you know what, they're not going to stop. Mueller has to validate his existence. They have to. You don't appoint special counsel. You don't spend millions, hundreds of millions of dollars of the American people's money, without trying to pass off that you got something for it. So the direction is all wrong, okay? There should have been the special counsel, I guess, because there was no way we should have ever had the FBI. Now, you want to talk about dismantling something. We need to dismantle the FBI down to the ground and build it back up, okay? Build it back up, all right? And I know some people think that that's really a concept that's just really out there, what I'm saying, but we should have just, dismantled the FBI, built it back up. That being said, the investigation's the wrong direction. Wiretapping. They've always made fun of your president of the United States. Always have made fun. Now, let's go to Trump said Obama had Trump Tower wiretapped. And this got MSNBC talking about him being delusional. He's not talking about his mental state. I mean, they did everything when this wiretap came out. There's a whole collusion. So let's play the Chuck Todd video with Clapper on this one. Let's get started on that one.
Welcome back. Earlier this week, the New York Times reported that in the dying days of the Obama presidency, White House officials took steps to spread information about Russia's attempt to undermine the presidential election. Why? Well, one reason given was to make it easier for government investigators, in particular Congress, to uncover that truth. Well, James Clapper, a career intelligence officer, was the director of national intelligence for more than 6 years under President Obama. He spearheaded the report that was released in January that concluded that the Russians hacked the Democratic National Committee emails and interfered with the 2016 election. And Mr. Clapper joins me now. Welcome, sir, to Meet the Press.
Thanks, Chuck, for having me.
Let me start with the president's tweets yesterday. This idea that maybe President Obama ordered an illegal wiretap of his offices. If something like that happened, would this be something you would be aware of?
I would certainly hope so. I can say, obviously I can't speak officially anymore, but I will say that for the part of the national security apparatus that I oversaw as DNI, there was no such wiretap activity mounted against the president-elect at the time, or as a candidate, or against his campaign. I can't speak for other Title III authorized entities in the government or a state or local entity.
Yeah, I was just going to say, if the FBI, for instance, had a FISA court order of some sort for a surveillance, would that be information you would know or not know?
Yes.
You would be told this?
I would know that.
If there was a FISA court order on something like this?
Something like this, absolutely.
And at this point, you can't confirm or deny whether that exists?
I can deny it.
There is no FISA court order?
Not to my knowledge.
Of anything at Trump Tower?
No.
Well, that's an important revelation at this point. Let me ask you this. Does intelligence exist that can definitively answer the following question, whether there were improper contacts between the Trump campaign and Russian officials?
We did not include any evidence in our report.
Now, I'm busy eating my apple bread here and apple butter, but I can multitask. Clapper, do you think Clapper would lie? Now, a couple things I want to pick up on the wiretapping here. Clapper spearheaded this research, this report, spearheaded. FISA court order. Now, it is very difficult. I read an article this morning on. I read an article this morning. Let's see if I can find it. It's an article that if we don't get to today, extraordinary and worrisome. Wall Street Journal demands to know how FBI meddled in the 2016 election. Okay, when Donald Trump claimed in March that he had been been wiretapped prior to the election, the press and Obama's offices dismissed the accusations as fantasy. We were among the skeptics. I was among them. But with former Director James Comey politicized FBI, the story is getting more complicated. CNN reported Monday, I felt the air go right out of their balls Monday. I mean, you know, like Deflategate. CNN, because CNN is the one that made the most fun of it. CNN reported Monday that the FBI obtained a warrant last year to eavesdrop on Paul Manafort, Mr. Trump's campaign manager, from May to August 2016. The story claims the FBI's wiretapped Mr. Manafort in 2014 while investigating his work as a lobbyist for the Ukraine's ruling party. The warrant lapsed, but the FBI convinced the court that administers the Foreign Intelligence Surveillance Act, FISA court, to issue a second order as part of the probe into the Russian meddling into the election. Guess who has lived in a condo in Trump Tower since 2006? Paul Manafort. Paul Manafort has lived there. Now, let's go back to the liar. He's a liar. It's been confirmed, okay? James Clapper's a liar. I'm telling you, folks. And the thing you got to remember is when this took place, the media got the smoke screen. They got sold the smoke screen immediately. And what I'm always interested in is who is the man behind the curtain, or the woman, could be, don't want to discriminate, who is the or transgender. Who the hell's behind the corner, the curtain, that is pulling the strings that sets up all the smoke screens that they deliver to you and I? And I'm not joking, I'm being very serious. Because as soon as this hit, as soon as the wiretapping tweet went out, there was an immediate, a fantasy, a Trump fantasy, okay? I mean, it wasn't a network one, including Fox, we'll show that in a minute. There was nobody out there that did not go after Trump on this. So who sends out the umbrella smoke signal that everybody reads from the talking points, including Fox News, folks? And there's some people over at Fox that you like, and I know that. There's some people over at Fox that I like. You know that too. Who sends out the smoke signal? Now, let's go back to Clapper, the liar. He's absolutely a liar. He spearheaded this for Obama. FISA court order. FISA court order is very serious, okay? And second, it's very hard to get. And it is extremely hard. It goes to new levels to get when you want to wiretap a presidential candidate. Now that's really tough for a judge to do. And supposedly, Fusion GPS we've done right here on this show. You got to take your own time to go look that up. But Fusion GPS, remember what's his name with the dossier? Steele, Michael Steele, okay, former intelligence over there in Britain. Okay, wrote the Russian dossier, all right? He said, I can deny that. I can deny it. Because, see, he said, Chuck Todd said, but if there would have been a FISA court warrant for this, would you know about it? Absolutely. Absolutely. I would know about it. He said he would know about it, right? If there was a wiretap for Trump Tower, he would know about it. He confirmed that. I could deny it. Was there anything in Trump Tower? I could deny that. No, not that I'm aware of. Not that I'm aware of. Now, let's go briefly, and I know I'm jumping around, so if it takes a minute to get it ready, let's go to Clapper lied to Congress, to the Senate, okay? Department of National Intelligence there. Tell me when you got Clapper lied to the Senate, okay? This should be Clapper's greatest hits. All right, play that, when Clapper lied to the Senate.
So what I wanted to see is if you could give me a yes or no answer to the question, does the NSA collect any type of data at all on millions or hundreds of millions of Americans?
No, sir.
It does not.
Not wittingly. There are cases where they could inadvertently, perhaps, collect, but not wittingly. Wittingly.
Not wittingly. I apologize for using this term, derogatory term. This is where you take not wittingly and you translate it into dimwit. Okay? All right. Not wittingly. Did the NSA collect data on the American citizens? No, we did not. He's a liar. He didn't embellish. I get so tired of that. He didn't mishandle the truth. They weren't mistruths. It's a lie. Okay? It is absolutely a lie. Now, the not wittingly, all right? Now, let's look at, let's just do this one, this other one. Clapper admits to unmasking Trump, okay? He admits to unmasking him. Tell me when you have that one ready, okay? That's the one.
We're ready to go. We got it.
All right, do Clapper admits to unmasking Trump.
I want to discuss unmasking. Mr. Clapper and Ms. Yates, did either of you ever request the unmasking of Mr. Trump, his associates, or any member of Congress?
Yes, in one case I did. I can specifically recall, but I can't discuss it any further than that.
You can't. So if I ask you for details, you said you can't discuss that? Is that what you said?
Not here.
Okay. Ms. Yates, can you answer that question? Did you ever request unmasking of Mr. Trump, his associates, or any member of Congress?
No.
Question 2, did either of you ever review classified documents in which Mr. Trump, his associates, or members of Congress had been unmasked?
Oh, yes.
You have. Can you give us details here?
No, I can't.
Ms. Yates, have you?
Yes, I have, and no, I can't give you details.
Okay. Did either of you ever share information about unmasked Trump associates or members of Congress with anyone else?
Well, I'm thinking back over 6.5 years. I could have discussed it with either my deputy or my general counsel.
Okay. Ms. Yates?
In the
I could have discussed it. Did you see what a pause? Did you see the pause that that Clapper had to try to pull the thoughts of his next lie together? Did you see that? Hey, Richie, let me tell you what I'm doing next, and I'll tell you why. I've got the Fox News one, and I'm not starting that at the beginning. I'm starting it where Krauthammer starts talking. Krauthammer starts talking. It's his turn to talk about the wiretap. So if you could find that, it's a 6-minute. I think it's somewhere about 3 minutes in. If you could find that and then give me a thumbs up when you got that.
Yeah, we got it right after Schumer's statement, I believe.
Okay, yeah. Actually, put Schumer's statement in. Give me about 10 seconds of that. Now, let's go to this one here. Wait a minute. Clapper on that one right there, the unmasking. It took him so long because he couldn't remember. He probably told the Washington Post, New York Times, or something. These people are the biggest liars. I mean, they are no good people. Bad people. Bad. I mean, these are people you warn your children about, and for many other reasons. Go ahead and play that one with Krauthammer.
There are no ifs, ands, or buts about it. President Obama wiretapping Trump Tower did not happen. President Trump owes the American people and President Obama more than just an explanation, but an apology. He should admit he was wrong, stop the outlandish tweets, and get to work on behalf of the country. Charles.
That's the price of overshooting. There really is a case here, and Trey Gowdy, we would have expected it. He made the case, and he made it very strongly. There's only one crime that we know about. There was a crime in the unmasking and the leaking of the Flynn name. Who did it? What happened? Why? We don't know. But that is the only crime that's been established up until now, and Democrats are pretending that there are all other crimes of which nobody else has been able to vouch until now. If the president had not overshot with this ridiculous charge about the wiretap, that would have been a major discussion, and it might have dominated the discussion. Right now, the storyline is that the president was wrong. Everybody is now saying it. His own FBI director is saying it, speaking on behalf of all the Department of Justice, which is Trump's own Department of Justice, which makes Spicer look ridiculous because it's his own department saying the president is wrong. But that's the price of doing this kind of tweeting. I think as to the investigation of the collusion, I think the main story remains. As of today, there is zero evidence of it. And I think it's unlikely that
Okay, this is the reason I wanted to play Charles Krauthammer is for a reason, a very specific reason, is because there's many on the conservative side that wait for 6 o'clock to get Charles Krauthammer's conservative intellectual thought. You know, the only thing Charles is missing is a pipe and an ascot, right? But you know, I'm not making fun for those out there. Mr. Krauthammer is in a wheelchair and is paralyzed, so I'm not making fun. I want to make sure I don't get all kinds of hate mail. Schumer said he owes the American people an apology. He owes Obama an apology. Ridiculous. Krauthammer said it was a ridiculous charge about the wiretap. Ridiculous. Okay? Now, I don't have anything here this morning that says actually Trump Tower was wiretapped. I don't have that piece of information. But boy, I've got a lot of smoke with Paul Manafort. There's accusations that they listened to the president speak to Paul Manafort. They did wiretap him, the FISA court. Do you think they just got a wiretap? If they had a FISA court order, do you think they just went out to his house? Or do you think they went everywhere they could get? They said, we got a court order. We're going to listen to Manafort no matter where he's at. Ridiculous charge about wiretapping. The president was wrong. Spicer looks ridiculous. This is from Krauthammer. And the reason I wanted to play that is because you knew that came from CNN. And you knew that came from MSNBC and George Stephanopoulos and Chuck Todd and Don Lemon and all the whack jobs on every one of those shows. You knew that already. But don't exempt Fox in some arenas. Fox gives the illusion at times they're conservative. They sell the illusion of bright colors, red, white, and blue. Fox, okay? And when, Fox sells an illusion and they've almost cleaned the stable out of the male horses there that they've moved along, not going any further on that. But that being said, let's go to the one with Don Lemon and Clapper. Tell me when you got that one ready.
It's ready.
All right. Wait. I don't want to do that one yet. I don't want to do that one yet, okay? I don't want to. My bad. Let's go to the FBI sees no evidence in wiretapping. FBI sees no evidence in wiretapping. Okay? You ready?
We're frozen. I have to re-import it. That's the one from the Washington Examiner, right?
No, it's not. It says the name of it is FBI sees no evidence in wiretapping. We already played.
That's the Fox one we just played.
What?
Isn't that the Fox one we just played?
No. It's a 15-second video. Did I not send it to you?
I have one that says FBI sees no evidence of wiretapping, but it's
10 minutes.
10 minutes long.
Oh, that is the one. All right, circumstances have changed. I looked at it incorrectly. You are correct. I told the whole damn world. How much happier can you be? You're right. So let's go to the one where Don Lemon, like I originally asked, if you just listened to me in the first place. Let's go to the one where Don Lemon's talking to the liar Clapper.
Unfortunately, now that one is frozen.
All right, just get it back in there. Let me know when it's in there. But the point I'm going to get, the only thing I'm really going on with this morning is I just want you to see the smoke, all right? Okay? The wiretapping story is out. It's going to be out there, okay? The UN story is out there. We're going to talk about that in a minute. But what is the smoke that they are laying with Obamacare repeal, Republicans again, to hide something? What are they hiding? All right, so I just want to do one more before our break. You ready? Go with that one.
I say that the fact that Manafort was wiretapped proves that the president was right to accuse the former president of wiretapping him, and you were wrong. What's your response?
Well, I stand on that statement that you just replayed, and I cannot comment on the media reporting, which is all we have, about a FISA warrant allegedly lodged against Mr. Manafort. I can't comment on that. I will simply reiterate what I said in March, and I stand on that.
Yeah, and that there is, as far as Trump Tower being wiretapped, according to the president, you say what?
I stand on what I said on the 5th of March on Meet the Press, as you just replayed it.
Okay. So did you know, and I hate to keep, just for clarity, because there's been a lot of reporting on this, right? And people on you know, especially those supporters of the president are saying, oh, here's proof, here's proof. So did you know about a FISA warrant against Paul Manafort at the time?
I did not.
You did not. Okay.
And again, I have to say, only. And and
I don't want to belabor that. Remember, did you know about a FISA order against Paul Manafort at the time? He would have known about it. He would have known about it. And what Clapper's comments were yesterday on CNN with Don Lemon, there, I have lawyered up. I have lawyered up. You see, we played you the clip from Chuck Todd. Remember that clip from Chuck Todd? We started with that. The reason we started with that and ended with that, he keeps telling you he will refer to that interview with Chuck Todd. He will he will not comment on anything else. He's going to stay with that. That's lawyered up. James Clapper's a liar. Mueller needs to go. I've said it from day one. I don't care how upset you think the American people will be. I don't care if the polling numbers for Donald Trump drops to 10%. Don't care. I do not care if they figure out how to get rid of Mueller and end the investigation tomorrow. Not end it. Turn the direction against the FBI, James Clapper, Barack Obama, Hillary Clinton, John Podesta, George Soros, Susan Rice. Susan Rice went everywhere and lied to the American people. This is the same setup. When Donald Trump sent out the wiretapping, we have paralleled and showed you something this morning. When Benghazi happened and our ambassador, Christopher Stevens, and there was a total of 4 Americans were killed, and Hillary Clinton is responsible for their death today by not responding with help for them, our ambassador in Benghazi, they immediately, and the media was welcome to have her. They were complicit, folks. You go to court, they're complicit. They're accessories to the crime. They're accessories to the treason against our country. That's what they are. So Susan Rice went everywhere and had the setup of the umbrella of the lie she told. When Donald Trump tweeted out that Trump Tower was that he was wiretapped, somehow somebody has the power to get all of the media, including Charles Krauthammer, and everybody calling him ridiculous, all right, and in a fantasy. Everybody knew within 24 hours how to go after Donald Trump, no matter if it was Fox, NBC, whoever it was. They know how to do it every time. So Mueller has to go, and I don't care if MSNBC and Morning Joe and Minka size for 2 hours or 3 hours for a whole week, and they do polling, and they say that after, let me tell you, if they would stop his direction and get somebody to actually go after George Soros, all right, Podesta, the list goes on, you know the list, all right, Clapper, Comey, all of them, every last one of them, Donald Trump's poll numbers will go through the roof, and they know it on TV. They know his poll numbers will go through the roof. They'll lie to you and tell you he's down to 10%. I'm your host, BKB. It's 9 o'clock. I promise you, I'm going to take a break. When we come back, I'm going to do about 20 minutes of, this is just the way I see it in Fannin County. That's what I'm going to do, just the way I see it. You might like, hey, Sam, while we're on break, would you like to continue? I'm out of apple butter. Would you like to continue to get in my good graces for throwing something at me today? Is there a chance? So you're saying there's a chance? I'm your host. We'll be back right after this.